Hey y'all, it's your girl, Miss IG, and not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And welcome back to another episode of Higher Vibe. And I decided to go with the singular version, Podtalk. Um, so I just want to get straight to it. Well, welcome. And I want to start off with some updates. I'm having a fun fit energy reset. I scheduled it for 420. I thought it would be pretty lit to do it on 420, especially since so many things were getting canceled in the Bay on 420. But I decided to push it back because um, one of my instructors has something that day, but we will be doing it on 428. So make sure you sign up. So, the solar eclipse did nothing. Stop listening to fear mongering astrology pages. And then within 1 week, we had an eclipse, which we knew was going to happen. I think I wrote about it. You'll have to check out my blog for that. I did a whole thing. Um, World War III starts. So much going on with Gaza. Um, we definitely need, I don't know, I said Genesis, I don't know. Eradication is probably what I was thinking, because that's what it's looking like when you're cutting off people's food and water supply, bombing them. That's genocide. The cicada. So I've been in the East Coast when the cicada come alive, and it's wild. But as much as the people in the East Coast complain about the cicada, go to another country where they're even bigger and they're even bolder. But those ones that are in Atlanta are pretty bold. I remember being young, going to Atlanta and feeling like they were sizing me up because they were almost like the size of my head. So they're supposed to be, an outlandish um, birth of them, or they don't die. I guess they just go to sleep. So millions of them are supposed to awaken in the East Coast. Rap battle, the full industry rap battle. I don't know what that's about. Mercury retrograde, which ends on April 25th. It's bringing back all kinds of issues. I've experienced it. Mass exodus goes again to the genocide. And the beautiful thing is, I love to see so many of us refocusing on self, the earth. Most importantly, is self. Um, I love this
Human
right
beings
here.
have
Look
one
at this.
job,
This.
self-care.
Yes, sis. Say it
Take care of
again.
yourself
Um, Self
so
care.
that when the people you love fall,
I said
your
this to
arms will be
someone just
strong.
today.
We are
Love
as sick
who I
as
love,
our secret.
but I can't love you without first loving myself, protecting myself, taking care of myself. So I love this movement. I love this movement of self care, of self love without being selfish, right? Not being selfish. When I say selfish, the difference between self love and selfish, to me, self love is creating boundaries, telling people, no, I really don't want to do that. I'm tired. I'm not comfortable with that. When I have the energy to do it, I will, absolutely. When I have the time to do it, I will. When I have the money to do it, I will. Um, that to me is self love. Selfish is always give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. It's always I need reciprocation at the time of transaction. Everything within your relationships is transactional, right? So that to me is selfish. Never volunteering, never, lending a hand. I know a lot of us don't always get reciprocal relationships. A lot of us will put things out there and assist people and not see the fruits back from them. And I always like to say it comes back to you in other ways. I understand how people become selfish. However, that's when you have to just stop doing stuff um, until you feel it in your spirit. When your spirit moves you and tells you, hey, you should go volunteer or you should go help that person, or if you have something extra, you should give something to someone for free. I'm going to leave this right here because, baby, it's been mayhem. And all I can think is, y'all, it's a political year. During political years, some of the wildest things happen, and aside our religious beliefs. Unfortunately, our media and government is our highest influence. And what I learned working for city government is even though it's toxic and even though it's broken and it's been this way for a long time, nobody's going to fix it. What I will say is don't invest too much into the artist right now, but do enjoy the art. People will flip your spirit if you get behind them too tough. There's only a few people or entities that are truly solid enough to give you your dying devotion, a give a fuck. So um, just don't do that. Don't do that. Don't give dying devotion into anything. This is self love, self love. Um, Dying devotion for people you don't know is crazy. Enjoy the art of what people have. Don't get, behind any of these things. Of course, when it comes to human nature, we're always going to get behind what's right when it comes to humans, right? Today's podcast is entitled Surviving Adulthood. Adulthood is the most ghetto hood I've ever been a part. There was a meme I once posted that said, "Adulthood is the worst hood I've ever been in." And trust, I have been in many hoods, baby. And I concur. Adulthood, we expected so many things from it, right? And even with all that's going on, um, it has shown that it doesn't really change as we see things through children's eyes and we're hopeful for the future. And when we get older, a lot of us get deflated because not much changes. In fact, sometimes it seems more hopeless, right? And I was just watching a live podcast. I can't think of the name, but I'll put it down here for you to see. She is a multifaceted reader, and she was having a live broadcast. And I just stepped in the room for a few minutes, and they were talking politics. And I feel like it was so divine because I talked about politics in my last podcast and I talked about how people should vote, yada, yada, yada. And they were talking about how if we all don't vote, what will happen? And I stepped in on a conversation they were having about how there's a lot of illegals. And I think that was one of the things I brought up, that there are illegals, there are, people, criminals. And these were things I remember in Trump's presidency that they were trying to um, enable people who have had felonies to be able to vote. And maybe in this democracy, they are trying to give people that are not citizens so many rights. I know, again, from working in city government, that they had a measure on city ballots to give money to illegals, and they definitely get housing. They get of um, a lot of things: phones, clothes, food, and apparently voting rights. So I don't know all the laws. I like to say I'm an educated woman, but I can't, be in every room. So someone who knows more about that, please enlighten us. But um, so they did, bring in a lot of illegals from different places. So isn't just about Mexico. This isn't just about Asia, which we've had a really big rise in these two cultures, but we've had, immigrants come in from all different countries, especially since the pandemic. Numbers for um, people not born in this country have gone up. So apparently they're allowed to vote. So one of the things that they were saying in this room, and mostly everybody was Black. I think that there was one speaker that was of Latin descent. There might have been more. However, I'm just, from his name, nonetheless, everyone was Black and they were, or the majority was Black, and they were talking about how a lot of Black voters have declined to vote. So in my last podcast, I'm promoting voting, and they're against. And I didn't go in the room fighting. I went in the room and I was like, hey, you guys are making good points. And, I just kind of feel like something sinister will come out of us not voting, on top of the fact that most elections, we vote, but, you know, the word was they're not elected, they are selected. So, there's all these different secret groups and the bloodlines. Why do only, certain people get elected, and how come they're 100 years old because they're a part of some bloodline? Um, you would have to, research some of these ideas to find out more information. However, there's tons of it out there that talk about why certain people are elected, and um, their question was if we just took our vote away, what would happen? The president that they want is going to be selected, right? Um, they use our numbers. And so I went in and said they use our numbers. And they went further to say that they use our energies. So when we go and vote, we are giving our consent for something. And who knows what we're giving our consent for? And this is true because this is a matrix. This is, we become this digital world and we don't know what we're consenting. Consenting for things have become so easy. And this is why there's so much cyber crime. There's so much more identity theft from other countries or within this country because we have become so digital. Just, tap into somebody. It's really, really important that we do boost up our security, period. Our security is very, very important to protect even the, average person. So, nonetheless, that was a great topic because it is a political year. Things are getting crazy, but every year that I can remember that there has been an election happening, there's always been some type of mass craziness. And this is no different. I don't feel that this is a rapture year. Every year may be a rapture year. Um, so, as far as the earth, we are still here. We're still kicking. And, the craziness definitely comes from the top spots, which has to do with our media and our government and our influential people, as well as the energies. And, thank goodness we have so many high vibrational people to kind of balance things out and calm people down and, give some light to situations, and also some acceptance. When I was younger, it was just like the religious people that were out there giving a word, giving a testament from a Bible. And I think a lot of people over the years have seen that that doesn't bring them comfort, especially with the attacks on the churches and religion and how it just failed a lot of us, period, over centuries. So coming back to a place of homeostasis, which is relying on self, the universe, and some of the ideas that we get planted from the inside. Because if you can't trust someone outside of you, you for damn sure better start by trusting yourself. So, adulthood, surviving adulthood. How are we going to survive adulthood? What are some skills that we need? So, we talked about self love, self reflection, of course, politics. What are some of the things that we need to survive adulthood? My best thought is balance, first of all, balance in everything that you do. So, I have been around people who abstain from many, many things. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't, listen to that type of music, I don't do this, I don't do that. But they indulge in other areas, which to me didn't feel like a good balance. That's great that you don't drink alcohol, but when you're an excessive gambler, that's great that you don't listen to rap music, but you still listen to heavy metal. And a lot of it, and only that, whatever. Those are just, made up examples. However, life is about balance. I'm not saying that it's okay to, you know, indulge in certain things and whatever. I'm not going to promote anything, but I will say that abstaining from certain things to only indulge in other things probably is one of the first places you want to take a look at. What humor? So many people get on the internet and they are so serious and angry. And my only hope for you is that in your real life, you find humor. But again, we have to go back to balance because there's some people that be on here playing too much. And one thing that I, want to reiterate is humor at others' expense is something that I don't condone. I grew up, and even as an adult, have been bullied, whether attempts, or full fledged bullying. And, I definitely have this saying that, all the things that you wish for others will come back to visit you one day. And all of the actions you take towards those thoughts will either bless or curse your bloodline. So it's so important that you have humor, you have light, you have joy, you have fun, and if you can spare it, share it with other people, but definitely be very, very careful if you are having joy at someone else's expense, right? For me, I'm an athlete at heart. Um, I love um, humor. I love funny things, but one thing about me is I was a great athlete. I probably could have went into high competition, but I personally stopped playing sports because I didn't like to play that much. I'm serious. That's how much I don't like to play games. Mm-mm, no, honey, don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm nice, and I will always, show love to people when they show love to me in my way. There's going to be times where I'm guarded because I got to be. I'm cute. Got to be guarded. But, I didn't go into the high stakes sports because people play too much and they take it off the field, off the court, off the tart, whatever. And I didn't like that. So even when it came to sports, play. It's really important to have movement and music. I feel like they go hand in hand. Movement and music is so important to your spirit. There's a reason why in the 60s and the 70s they were trying to ban rock and roll, and they did the same exact thing in the 80s and 90s with rap. There was a, war on rap. And, because music influences people. And so it's really important that, we put out music that is positive. So I love the new genre of rap and R&B because that's my favorite. I love jazz. I love beats. Beats are they make your song. Your words are important, but your beats are what draws us. I think there was a study that said that the reason why that most blacks and Latins, have a little bit more rhythm is because of the bass beats in our music that we hear in utero. Most of us are birthed to parents who also like it. So we hear it in utero. It's just an ancestral thing, right? On top of, muscle coordination that can go through, your ancestral lineage. And um, movement in music is just so important. There's so many things that I've learned to use to soothe myself during times that I feel unbalanced or stressed or sad, but nothing like movement in music. Really feel like it's important to just honor your body and take care of yourself. And someone pointed out something really important is the difference between self care and hygiene. So, women who get their nails done, men who get their hair cut, getting your um, those outer things worked on, that is not really self care, right? It's not self care. That's a part of hygiene. It's not self care because, girl, going to get your hair done, even though you love the way it looks afterwards, that shit is stressful. Going to get your nails done, even massages at this point are not self care. Everybody just in there talking, 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 time, tip, to book this appointment, hairdressers canceling, all this stuff. So know the difference between self care and hygiene, but take care of both of those. Honor yourself. I like fashion, I like hair and makeup, basic makeup, but I still feel good when I dress nice. There's that saying, when you look good, you feel good. And it's true. Honor yourself, take care of yourself, take care of your, body parts, your teeth, and all those things. It's really important. It's not a necessity to have a straight line of teeth to live life, but to live a longer life, you do need to take care of your teeth. Um, Teeth issues can lead to heart attacks and brain issues and different things. So even people with their nails, they've had a fungus that gets into their body and all of a sudden they're on a ventilator. So it's really important that you take care of yourself. All the extra stuff is a blessing because, again, on some of your worst days, you might look the best. Skin may be the clearest, hair may be the bounciest, nails may be, just looking good. And that might be the one thing that keeps you from, being depressed, right? Or worse. So honor yourself, take care of yourself. You don't got to be doing it for the opposite sex. I have been single for some time. I don't have any plans to date, but I definitely feel that taking care of myself and liking the way that I look in the mirror is for me. It has to be for you first, and then for other people to enjoy second. Lastly, before I cut out, I want to encourage everyone to just continue working on your goals, whatever they are, because they can change and they can build on one another. So even when things start to feel like you're getting stuck or you run out of ideas or you're just bored in what you're doing, continue because it can be at that very moment that you get inspired to build on that thing. And even if no one's supporting you, which I'm telling you, I am there constantly. I'm constantly out here connecting with new people, and finding that I'm not alone in this, that the reason why they create these co-ops and people want you to get behind them and be their cheerleaders because people people's support is very momentarily. So businesses aren't thriving like they once were because we've all become these entities. But I want to remind people to support your brethren, your business, your fellow business, you know, partner, even if you don't know them. Support yourself first until you do meet those helping hands, and also make sure that you support other people. There's nothing that business owners and creators don't love more than support. And the most discouraging thing is someone that you've supported to not support you. It's the most disrespectful thing you can do, and the universe sees you. So make sure that you work for yourself, but you also work for others. And if people have been generous to you, you need to be generous back to them. Now, you don't, again, this goes back to the undying love. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for anyone. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't, but return. Don't purposely be an asshole. Don't purposely skip over someone's post out of ego. The universe sees all of this. So, blessed. Y'all go out there and research and read. Don't just blindly listen to people. Research it. If someone says something on one of these podcasts, on one of the reels, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is you're watching, YouTube, do some research. One of the things about college is I think the first thing that they tell you is you're not truly educated until you research something by at least two to three sources. So, for everything you think you're a master of, make sure that you get two or three sources, and even better, one of those sources should be an opposing thought, something that refutes everything in it, so that you can know what the refute is and, what your belief is, what they tell you to believe, and somebody who doesn't believe it. So, best of blessings out there. It is a jungle. You survived adulthood. Much respect. Give the universe so much honor and appreciation. Make sure you sign up for my fun fit reset. And we'll be traveling with it. Not sure where, but we coming somewhere. Skating. I'm getting better, y'all. I am too. I'm getting kind of nice, you know. I know I'm heavy up top, but I got a strong bottom and I'm getting with it. So come see us. We're going to be trying to just reset our energy, cleanse our energy. So I'm excited about it. All right, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe me, and sign up and follow me on my social medias, and appreciate y'all.